I'm a very curious person, very, very curious. And everything that I put my mind into it, chances are I will learn from it. I will practice it, and hopefully I will master it.
What do you think are the kind of key things that people need to watch out for in their journey, in order to stay spiritually healthy?
That's a very good question.
Mm.
And that question I ask myself every day on my meditations.
Mm.
Once I understood what is life is all about,
Mm.
service and love in my
Mhm.
case,
Mhm.
I developed the best relationship with my parents than ever, with my father and my mother, because I worked so much on me
Mm.
that I was able to then bring this to them.
Mhm.
But it's only in solitude.
They must miss you a lot.
They do.
Yeah.
But I try to explain to them that what they miss is the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the conscious, it's not the love. I see them every day in my meditations. I see them every day in my astral journey.
When you're in that space, are you conscious of other beings?
Yes.
And
yes.
and uh, how do do some of those beings interact with you, like, or try to uh, interfere with
Ye-
your intention?
Yes, they scare you as well.
Mm.
Again, because I'm coming from a light point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment you enter in the reality, you caught their attention. Like, who is this?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you here? You know? So you have to be really careful on that sense. That's why I'm able to do a multi-dimensional healing, because I see through. So I'm able to translate that into my food, into my being, into my words, into my silence. There is no way that any human on earth does service and it doesn't become happy.
Maybe we can do a small demonstration or something,
Yeah.
just to give people an idea.
So, okay, a very easy one is one I did before, is that you can close your eyes. Okay, you can take maybe 3 quick breaths. Focus on your heart.
Hi guys, my name is Nael Evans, and this is my first ever episode of uXuTalks. Today we have our first ever special guest, Victor Urbina, who is a chef and with a very, very special talent. And I look forward to getting into various different subjects relating to cooking and spirituality and spiritual practices. So I wanted to just have a free chat today. Tell us a little bit about what it is that you've.
So, my name is Victor Urbina. I'm from Venezuela. I've been in the UAE for around 15 years, more or less. So, I'm a holistic chef, um, and a chef consultant. I've been in the industry for about 24 years. I work in many countries around the world. I used to work in cruise ships as well.
So what's the brand here?
Here, it's called Holistic Kitchen.
Right.
It's one of my activities. It's a meal plan company. But you can follow me on the holisticchef.de. That's my website. This is where I offer all
So the
my
majority of
services.
it is meal plans.
Yeah. So I do meal plans, chef consulting, and private chefing as well.
Right.
From the holistic point of view.
Okay.
So basically, I work with natural elements. I apply multidimensional healing to the food, or pranic healing.
Right.
I use sound healing as well while I'm cooking.
Okay.
I integrate the energy side and the healing side of the food consciously.
Right.
So I grew up around small farms, animals, plants. My grandma used to be a herbal healer, and my grandpa used to be a shaman. He barely spoke Spanish. These are the parents of my mother.
Okay. So your maternal grandfather
My dad-
was indigenous.
Yes,
And your paternal grandmother was.
was from the coast, but from the mountain of the coast. Venezuela has a very nice coastline, and right next to it, there's like huge mountain, so similar to New Zealand.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So they met, and yeah, they create my beautiful mother. And then from my father's side, they were from Caracas, actually, from the capital. They were militaries, like from the army, all the family, from my grandpa to my great grandpa. They were always in the military. They were in like high positions in the government from the military. My father, my uncles, some of my cousins too. And so it's a little bit of a contrast, the touch of the unseen with the rigid way of living of my military side of my father.
And which was the stronger influence in your
The strongest influence obviously was my maternal side, just because I grew up with them. Um, and I used to live in a small town that was in Caracas at the beginning. I moved to Caracas when I was about um, 19 years old, 20 years old. So all my youth, I was in this little town. And once I moved to Caracas, yes, I had more interaction with my father's side of the family, and so I used to see that. And my father obviously wanted me to become a military
yeah.
as well. They put me through all the tests in all the military schools, high schools,
Wow.
everywhere. I passed all the tests with like the highest grade. I just failed the psychological one.
Right.
So the psychologist told my dad, which they were friends, they said, listen, this guy, he passes all the tests. He actually broke some records, but mentally, he won't be able
It's not suitable.
to cope with this lifestyle.
Wow.
He has resistance to authority. He's very creative.
Yeah.
He's a free spirit. Like his mind is more abstract than any other participant I've seen. So if you confine this guy to this lifestyle, he's gonna be depressed, or he's gonna be the troublemaker.
That's
or
very like philosophical of them
Yeah.
to see that.
And he told him, you can actually force him,
Mm.
and he will be the best of the best. But once he has power, it can turn down dark, because he's really did want to be here. So when my mother listened to that, she said, like, there's no way my son will do that. My father still wanted me to go through,
Right.
because it's the family, it's like a tradition.
Mm.
So, and I was excited. I didn't know much at that time. I was a teenager. I was like 15, 16. I was happy about the whole setup and how everything is structured. But I didn't know, obviously, at that time, I didn't know myself at all. I used to play football as well, like from a professional side, but in the juvenile teams. And although I was very good and everything, I had a hard time to follow like disciplinary actions, like go to sleep at that time, follow this and this and this rule. So I used to drop the ball in few of them, because my spirit and my mind say, why should I follow these rules? Like I'm very talented in the pitch. Why would I? So when I heard these things that they told me, I started to understand a little bit more about how my mind works at that time.
Right.
Yeah. So, and my mother, she's also like a clairvoyance, she has some mystic gift, so she can see stuff, and then she told me, like, this is not your destiny. You can choose to do so, but it's going to be very tough for you. You're going to create a lot of trouble. So better we keep you out of trouble.
Yeah.
You're already a troublemaker. We don't want to. I have a very limited space of clients, and I target, it's a one-on-one relationship with the clients. So I assess them. I take a questionnaire when I ask for their the personal details, health condition, their goals, and all of that information, and I create a profile where I come up with a strategy, the macronutrients, and the ingredients that will solve their health issues for those who have health issues. And some others obviously look for to manage their weight or to improve their life, or some other for the inflammatory problems,
And obviously, this is like come from your training as a chef.
Yeah,
right?
obviously, I'm a professional chef. Like,
But you've also had
I'm a chef of career.
But you've also had some training in pranic healing.
Yes.
And somehow you're bridging the two together.
Yeah. So basically, obviously, I studied as a chef in Vancouver, Canada, in Le Cordon Bleu, and then I passed to Venezuela and I did another 3 years of culinary study there from the culinary side, and then I developed my career. And from the multidimensional healing side, I studied Pranic Healing 5 years ago, and I did all the levels until the highest one, which
So you were a chef before?
yeah.
For practicing for how many years before you joined?
Before I became a Pranic Healer, I was a chef for maybe 20 years.
20 years?
Yeah,
Okay.
19 years, 20 years, yes.
Okay.
And then what happened was I saw a lot of waste. That's how I started. I used to work in cruise ships. And in these vessels, the amount of food that you waste, sorry, it's a lot. So something in me coming from Venezuela, coming from humble's beginning, from a Latin American country, I felt bad that we were wasting all of this food. And I know some of my friends or some people from my country, they had no food and we're wasting so much food. That was the first cold. I was like 25 years old.
Right.
And then from there, it kept in my mind, I want to do something different whenever I have the knowledge and the power to do so.
Right.
But I had to keep going my career, right? To gain experience and everything.
So, but okay. So your career was continuing as a chef.
Yeah.
And at some point you came to realize that actually you have this other dimensional power, which
Yes.
you wanted to somehow integrate with it. Tell us about the journey of how you started on that path.
So coming from a mystic family,
Yeah.
from my mother, the spiritual side and the energetical side and the healing side was always present all through my life, right?
Right.
And I cultivated this side while I was still being a chef. So, for example, if I used to go in a cruise ship, we will stop in Croatia, everybody will go to the touristic side. I will go to a church, for example, or I will go to a mystic mountain that has something to do with healing. That was my call.
Right.
So I was always integrating this healing and energetic side into my life while I was developing my career.
Right.
And then I was born Catholic, or they make me Catholic, right? And then I went to Japan and I chose to embrace Buddhism. So I became Buddhist, right? And to practice Buddhism for a long time.
Wow.
Then my auntie
This is how old were you?
19 years old. I became Buddhist in Japan from the Soka Gakkai organization.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the Nichiren Naishonin organization.
And you spent time with them?
2 years and a half.
3 years? 2.5 years in Japan?
Yeah.
Like living the life of a...
Not really. I was playing football.
Yeah.
And then I was studying Japanese, and I was going to Soka Gakkai University, which is the university of this line of Buddhism, So I understood all the way of life and everything, and I really connected with them, with the soil. I had a couple of dreams and a regression, and I saw my place in places where I'm like, why do I know this place? Why do I feel so familiar here? Because it's part of my past life. I used to be a samurai. So that's what they told me in the regression, yeah? And then I continue like that. So few members of my family are gifted. For example, some of them speak with angels. Some of them see entities. And my mother is a clairvoyance. And, so I used to take courses with them. So I used to take like healing from colors, healing from angels and sound healing, all of these courses. So then I tap into Reiki as well. And I did 1, 2, 3 and master Reiki courses in Venezuela. So every time I used to go back on vacation from the cruise ship, I used to do some energetic activation, Okay. And that's how I developed my spiritual side. So at the same time I was awakening, I was being a chef around the world.
Okay.
But in Dubai, the click was after the pandemic.
Okay, so you came to Dubai in which year?
I came to Dubai in 2011.
Okay. On and off? Or?
No, just to open a restaurant in JBR.
Okay.
I used to call Saladicious Deli. Okay.
Saladicious?
Saladicious Deli, yeah. It used to be a very famous brand.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, very nice, very
It closed, right?
healthy, yes. In the middle of JBR, in front of the beach. It was amazing. So fun times. I learned a lot. The person who brought me to Dubai, still one of my best friends until now, from Venezuela as well, Chef Jose. He taught me a lot. And so I learned the Dubai life, But then I met someone very special, my ex-wife, and then we created like a nice vibe uh, from the entrepreneurial side. She used to work for corporate, and I used to work in restaurants, but we both wanted to do something different. And she had an idea in her mind. The idea used to call roots, and she wanted to do from her understanding of clean food.
Right.
So, and in my mind, I was told long time ago that I was going to cook food for the souls.
Mm.
I never understood that. So when she came to me, I explained what I was told, and she explained to me what an idea. So we create a concept.
Okay.
Okay.
And that was which year are we talking about?
We're talking about, I met her like a year after I came here, 2012.
2000.
Then we started dating, then we became boyfriend, then we became girlfriend, and then we got married and everything. What happened was in 2018,
Yeah.
we opened the first sustainable restaurant in the whole GCC.
Oh,
So we took a course with Cambridge University. They sent us the manual, everything, and we set it up from scratch, brother.
wow.
One of the most amazing experience I have ever lived, because every detail has to be from the sustainable point of view,
Right.
from the architecture point of view. So, for example, we pick a location where we had around straight around 11 hours of pure light, natural light, into 50% of the restaurant. So we didn't use much energy on that side. So everything was well thought,
Wow.
how much energy we can use from the sun to illuminate this part of the room, and from the wastage, from the organic ingredients, farmers. I help farmers to do the first
So
seasonal
this is
chart.
kind of the beginning
Yeah.
of the kind of holistic
Yes, exactly.
concept, right?
Exactly. That's how in my mind started develop this. However, at that time, even though I have knowledge in many spiritual practices,
Mm.
I was just seeking knowledge, but I wasn't really implementing them, if that makes sense.
Right, right.
So I was just like a sponge.
Okay.
And at that time, I didn't really had my awakening, like
Yeah.
many people call them. But I think it's a phase of
Right,
of
right.
everything.
Right.
But it's a very famous phase that
Yeah.
became a thing. This was a beautiful experience, and I understand many things from the sustainable point of view, which has to do a lot with energy, but people don't see it that way.
Mm-mm.
But the pandemic came. Unfortunately, we have to close,
Mm.
and like everybody else, it was a rough time for me. And after that, the awakening came. So I was tired of following like as any other chef, prestige,
Mm.
position, this like a race. I
Yeah.
was tired of it. And I said, why
Rat
can't I
race.
do what I love and help others without representing so much stress?
Right.
That's a very good prompt for ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I put into my mind. And I started meeting the right people, for example, when I was living with one of my best friends, Yanni.
Mhm.
And then she introduced me to you guys. And from there, I started cooking for people who were doing separate healings, groups.
Right.
I learned Pranic Healing through my brother,
Right.
which is also very, very powerful magician,
Mm.
from the energetic point of view, because I went into depression. And I have to call for backups, I call my aunties, my mother, my brother, everyone I know, so they could give me answers. And the only
Is
answer,
like physical calls?
physical calls and energetical calls in dreams as well.
Right.
And they told me only one answer. They told me, it's your time. It's your time to awake. You have to awake. You cannot continue playing a role that you're not supposed to be.
So you feel like you were one foot in, one foot out
Yes,
of your
yes.
spiritual body.
Yes, which is very common, by the way.
Right.
Many people are one foot in the 3D and one foot in the spiritual side.
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny journey, I can say now, but when you are there, it's very tough.
Mm.
It's very difficult. It's very confusing.
Mm.
So that's why I look for guidance.
Yeah. But I'd say that most people are in that
Yeah,
category.
yeah,
Like,
and we still are.
but even unconsciously, they're in their
Yes.
spiritual body, but they're not aware of it.
Yeah, we still are in a way. Otherwise, we wouldn't work with the energy of money, or we wouldn't have responsibilities. You know what I mean? And as long as we breathe, we're still in the 3D.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Which is a beautiful gift if you really understand what it's all about.
Right.
So after that, I took pranic healing very seriously,
Mm-hmm.
and I studied very well. And because I have worked with my hands all my life, my hands chakras are very developed.
Okay.
So, and pranic healing is about using your hands as an extension of your body to heal.
Right.
So some of the techniques are like that, some of the technique is like that without touching, right?
Right.
Little I knew it's my hands were so powerful just because I cooked for so long
Mm-hmm.
and being on service, my chakras were like super big.
Right.
So the moment I took that tool, my healings were very powerful.
So you found a channel, a way to channel your powers.
There we go.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know. So the master who told me pranic healing told me there is something in your hands that is very powerful. You
Mhm.
should use it for this cause.
Right.
And some of our friends, which I did pranic healing at the beginning
Mm.
for free, when you become a barber, you cut hair for free.
Right.
I used to heal people for free, just to practice and get, more knowledgeable about it.
Mm-hmm.
The results were incredible. But again, it wasn't me.
Right.
We are channels, right?
Right, right.
Through us is that the energy goes through, and that's how it gets
Right,
done, right?
So this is something that you think that anyone can do?
Anyone can do.
Right.
Anyone can.
And do you teach this technique to
I do not teach because I'm not certified yet, but there are some academies in Dubai, where I went, that you can learn from.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um.
But this is something that you knew you had a talent from an early age.
Yes, I have all of this knowledge. I just didn't know how to put it into what I do or into what I love to do, because again, the profession that I choose, it's called a cook or chef, which means boss.
Right.
There's nothing special about it.
Mm.
But because I love to do it, it never was a job for me.
Mm.
I just got paid to have fun, if that makes sense.
Right.
But it got stressful, obviously, at some time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just then started studying pranic healing
Mm-hmm.
and starting playing around, because if I was healing people, then with talks with my brother, he told me, try to implement it on food.
Right.
So I started taking, for example, a tomato and scan the energy. And I could see the energy of the tomato, if it was high or low, or lower than this tomato, lower than that. So I told him, oh yeah, I can feel the energy of the food.
Right.
So he said, this is because the way it was planted and harvested and the whole process enhance or diminish the energy of the food.
Right.
And then I tap more deeper into it, and then develop a technique that is called mindful cooking and conscious eating.
It's your own technique.
Yeah, sort of. I just put things together.
Right.
I'll put it that way.
Mm.
Basically, I take the food and I scan the energy,
Mm-hmm.
and I can sense the energy, where it's lower at.
I want to get into just like, what is it that we're in this 3D realm,
Yeah.
body. We have like sight, smell. We have the five senses, right? Which everyone has.
Yeah.
What is it that you're becoming conscious of when you're scanning? Like, what is it? How are you reading, let's say, the energy level of the tomato that takes it away from just being a tomato,
Yeah.
right? And it's just an object.
So by sensibilizing your hands, yeah, by cleaning, for example, with salted water, and anybody can do this exercise. You just rub it like this, okay, for a few seconds, and as soon as you feel it becomes warm, you can then go like this, and you can feel there's vibration, right? That's energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that the more you do it, the more sensible your hands become.
Right.
Yeah. So I can do like this, activate my hand chakras, and then smoothly touch the energy of any subject.
Okay.
Anything has vibration, right?
So, but what's happening? You're
So I
interacting.
can feel.
Just so your consciousness,
Yeah.
right? If your mind, your consciousness is interacting with the object,
energy of the object,
and your hand is like the sort of vessel between.
Yes.
Right. So something in your mind is telling you, okay,
Yeah.
it's this energy level is high.
Yeah, no, I put a matrix. It's very simple,
Right.
because I put, for example, let's say between these two objects, this is 0, this is 10.
Right.
So if I'm scanning from here, and my hands stop here,
Right.
it's 50%.
Okay, so you've created a
Yeah,
scale.
they explain this to you in the Pranic Healing courses.
Right,
They teach you how to scan and measure energy.
right, right.
So I take those technique and
Mhm.
apply it to food,
Okay,
right? Just because I have a much better relationship with food than humans,
okay.
if I can say, because when I was healing humans, I could feel their energy. I could feel where their struggle was, in the lower part, in the middle,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
So I clean the chakras and all of that stuff. So I implemented to food
Right.
because I'm around food,
Yeah,
most of the time.
yeah.
And this was a very interesting breakthrough
Right,
because then not only I could clean the energy
right.
of all these vegetables, but then put energy into it
And can you do the
to
same with
enhance
meat and fish?
anything.
But obviously, like the life story of
Yeah.
the meat, if it's a chicken or
Yes.
if it's beef or something,
Yeah.
it has some background,
Most
some
people
history.
say there is no life to it, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's dead.
Yes.
Let's just be clear, right?
Yeah.
However, there are certain patterns before that also enhance or diminish the energy of the element, as I
Right.
explained before, right?
Right.
So, for example, if it's like a trade fair, for example,
Right.
if there is a farm where the farmers are treating right,
Yeah.
where the owner is a good person and they pay it on time and they
Right.
treat
Right.
right, they do their work with love.
Right.
So every plantation has love into it.
Right.
When they harvest, then the truck take it to the let's say a local market, which is not a supermarket.
Right.
So it's family to family. It's all about commodity, and so the fruit
Yes.
or the vegetable of the element go through a patterns of happiness
Right.
and commodity, and then reach to you. So this tomato from a local farm, from a local supermarket,
Mm-hmm.
that you go from your house, pick up direct from you, has completely different from a industrial tomato in a supermarket, in a chain of
For
supermarket.
sure. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, if it's home cooked, it's like being treated with more care and
Yes,
love.
it's a homes cook because, for example, being from the industry, you don't even, for example, someone like me and most cooks, we do it because we love it, most of us, right?
Mm.
But even if you look what you do, you don't wake up every day with the same energy.
Right.
Sometimes, some of your family members could die, or you can receive a bad news, or
Yes.
you have a breakup, or many things.
Yeah.
So you will not cook with the same energy.
Yes.
What happens is you transmit this energy to the food,
Right.
and that food is being eaten by a client, by a
Right.
customer.
Right.
So you can get people sick by that,
Right.
right?
Mm.
Obviously, from a home cooking or from someone who cooks consciously,
Mm.
which is what I try to promote,
Right.
it's a completely different experience.
And that's why home cooked food always tastes
Yeah,
better.
because this cook, they go there nowadays, especially in Dubai, when it comes to delivery mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'll be in trouble for saying that, but they just go there for the salary. And there's so much sacrifice for these guys. They're working 10 hours, 12 hours for a very small wage. And they have to produce this so much orders. You got me. Most probably they drank the day before.
Yeah.
Most of them smoke. So do you understand the energy they put into this food? Plus, this is ultra processed food ingredients with GMO, with colorants, Ajinomoto.
So with all
the
of
whole
that,
combination.
can you even cook with that kind of food? Can you clean that kind of food if it's
Yes,
processed?
yes, but you can imagine the amount of energy that I need to use to clean something like that,
Yeah.
that I don't need to use from something that comes from a local farm.
Right.
If that makes sense. So I need to spend more time cleaning and removing so much
And
karma. Because
obviously, before the cooking starts, you
yeah,
need to
before
do
the
it.
cooking starts.
You can't do it on like a hamburger that's already made instead of.
I could, yes, I could as well. Because I know the technique, right? So I could.
Right.
Yeah, even when I enter to a place, I scan the place,
Mm-hmm.
and I could see what type of energy that is.
Okay, so let's say you're having a meal with some friends,
Yeah.
and the food comes to the table. Do you always like scan it and
Not all
cleanse
the
it?
time. Not all the time. Again, from a Buddhist point of view, you should let life surprise you. So what happened at this point, the way I conduct myself, I have clean energy from within.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are that everywhere I go, this energy comes back to me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go, for example, let's say, let's get to be real. If I go to a McDonald's,
Mm.
how am I supposed to clean something that is not even food?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So obviously, I'm not doing a conscious decision by going to McDonald's.
Right.
So that then I know what I'm going to get.
Right.
But if I go to a local restaurant,
Mhm.
right, where I know there are ethics and you with a group of friends and the energy is good, most probably will come to me. It will be something on a higher level of energy.
Right.
Still, I can see, I can scan, and I can even sometimes see the colors that vibrates through the food. If it's done with love, there is pink color, for example. If it's done with
Okay,
enthusiasm.
explain this color
So
system.
this you develop with practice.
Mm-hmm.
Your eye and your sensitivity start to develop a further and deeper understanding of energy. Then not only you can feel it, but you can see.
So can you see it all the time, or
Not all the time. Only
just when you switch it on?
If I switch it on, if I'm very peaceful, if I'm surrounded by so much love around, my energy levels grows.
So there are times of the day where it's strong, like if you wake up,
Yeah.
first thing in the morning.
So in my case,
Mm.
my job, the way I do it, it's a little bit harsh, it's sacrifice because I work overnight
Right.
to guarantee that the freshness of my meals are being sent the proper way, right?
Right.
So obviously my peak time is from 2 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. This is when I'm channeling. Sometimes I feel like I'm shivering,
Right.
Sometimes I cry by myself. So that, like the energy overwhelms. The other day we had an experience where I have to interact and I would just start crying and my voice broke. You remember? It's because that's the type of love that I can put into what I do that it's bigger than me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in my case, when I cook, my peak is from 2 to 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you sleep before that?
Yeah, I try to rest before that.
Okay, so it's you sleep a couple of hours, then you wake up, cook
Yeah, and then
then
shower and then sleep. And
at
then
6 a.m.
Yeah, and then rest and then go to the gym or go swimming or
Wow, that's a really interesting routine.
yes.
And also, are you still practicing Buddhism? Like,
Yes.
what are your
Basically, I chant for half an hour
Mm.
the mantra of Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.
Mhm.
It's quite famous from the Asian side. And it's basically, it means the Buddha that is me, it's within me, it's the Buddha that is within you.
Mhm.
Um, and the principle is love, to be honest. It's just sending positive energy to the outside,
Right.
but you cannot send something that you don't have within, right? So I try to cultivate that with me. Even though I have a crazy schedule, I try as much as I can to take care of myself in many ways, like nutritionally, physically, mentally, emotionally, with routines, with the people that I interact, the words that I said, what I hear.
Mhm.
So I'm in constant, let's say, um, I'm feeding myself constantly with the best I can so I can give it back
Mm.
to anybody who I interact with,
Right.
whether it's a client, whether it's a friend, whether it's a plant, whether it's, because again, when you practice pranic healing, you understand there is no separation.
Mhm.
We are only one.
Right.
And that's what I try to practice every day. I say I try because I'm still, again, in the 3D and
Mhm.
you're not, except that in a traffic light, someone hung to you and you
Cool.
say something. So, yeah.
I feel like we should have some more cacao.
Yes.
And actually just maybe give a shout out to Justin, our friend Justin, who prepares the cacao very lovingly. At We Are Life Within, www. We Are Life Within. It's actually the best cacao I think
Very good
I've
cacao.
tasted.
By the way, I use the same cacao. I use it for all my snacks on the meal plan.
Oh yeah,
All of them. Yeah.
fantastic. Let's just have some. Thank you. I'm not sure. Maybe we finished it. It's so good. It's like a little bit sweet. I'm not sure exactly what the ingredients are, but
Yeah. He might infuse it with flowers. He called it the wizard mix. I still have a little bit, but yeah. It's really good, to be honest.
yeah. So I believe you're a Muslim, right?
I embraced Islam in 2015.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so how did that come to be? And
So as I explained, I'm a very curious person, very, very curious, and everything that I put my mind into it, chances are I will learn from it.
Mhm.
I will practice it, and hopefully I will master it
Mm.
to go to the next level or to the next new things to learn. Right.
Mhm.
So I was born as a Catholic, and then I became Buddhist in Japan.
Mhm.
And then I did all of these healing courses with my family, and then also became a Reiki master healer.
Mhm.
And then I came to the UAE. And then I was fascinated, on the contrary of many Latins, Venezuelan people, from Islam
Right.
for some reason. The Adhan is the first time I ever heard the Adhan, and so I'm like, whoa, who is singing every morning,
Right.
What is this? I was quite ignorant at that time
Yeah.
about Islam,
Mm.
um, which was fascinating because in Buddhism, that's the first symptom of knowledge.
So what was your impression of
Um,
wait, let me finish the question.
to be honest,
Let me finish the question.
yeah,
Yeah. What was your impression of Arabs, Muslims, the Middle East before coming to Dubai? Because you came to Dubai
yeah,
without any real experience
yeah,
with that. But before you must have had like a peripheral idea of
yeah.
what it was.
So from a kid, obviously, we have this influence from Spain of the three kings in January. They come to visit Jesus, and they come from the Middle East. So that's our first interaction with Arabs, is these three kings that comes on January 6th to visit Jesus, that bring a gift to him.
Oh, okay.
So in
So
Christianity,
the three kings,
Catholicism, Jesus,
three kings are Arabs?
yes,
Okay.
he was born in the 24th,
Right.
25th, right?
Right.
And on this, they came because they saw the star, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and they followed the star. But
Right.
instead of being on the 24th, they got delayed and they came on the 6th
Right.
of January,
Oh,
right? And they came with incense,
right.
frankincense,
Yeah.
and I forgot the other one.
Myrrh.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And the all Arabs,
Yeah.
and actually dark skin and everything. And one was very handsome, the other one was very tall. That's the story that they tell us as kids.
Okay.
It's just another way for us to get gift.
Okay.
That's my first interaction with Arabs. So I say, okay, so they are from far away,
Yeah.
they are covered,
Yeah.
and they bring gift.
Yeah.
So I like them right away. you know. After that, by traveling the world with the cruise ships and living in Vancouver, I have interaction with Arabs. But there were Arabs that live abroad,
Mm.
so they were as international as me.
Right.
I didn't have quite like a strong reference.
Right.
And funny enough, the time where I was supposed to fly to Japan the first time was on September 11.
Mm-hmm.
The
famous September.
famous September
That was
11.
your travel date.
That was my travel date to Japan.
Okay.
And I couldn't travel because the whole world got a commotion. So my flight was delayed for 2 days
Wow.
because my first stop was in Mexico, Vancouver,
Mhm.
and then Japan.
Right.
Yeah. So from that,
So you flew on the 13th.
yes, correct. So then, but I didn't have the chance to make up my mind at that time of, Arabs, terrorists, all of this crazy thought that most of the world got at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I went to Japan. So a completely different story, right? Anyhow, no knowledge at all.
Mm.
Only these two reference. One as a kid and one international, which I came to know when I came here.
Mm.
Many people making fun. Oh, you're going there, and Latin. We make very nasty jokes,
Right.
which I'm gonna tell here. But they used to tell me very nasty joke. Oh, be careful when you go there, and this and that, and and there are many myths about Dubai that if you were covered, no cover. When I came here, it was very strict, to be honest.
Right.
2011, very strict. No,
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it's changed a lot for sure.
it changed a lot, but especially in Ramadan time, it was very strict.
Well, that's true. Ramadan, everything was closed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was fascinated by the fact that they were very disciplined. The 5 prayers, the passion they talk about Islam, how passionate they are, Arabs in general, same as Latin. And then I became friend with Mr. Omar Al-Duri, one of my best friend in the UAE as well. And he explained to me more in depth about Islam.
Right.
And again, in my mind, I already know about Catholicism,
This
Christianism,
curious mind.
Buddhism, this and that, this and that. I'm like, I need to learn more about this, especially when he said Islam means love, like to oversimplify
Mm,
the concept to me. So he said it to me like that. I'm like,
mm,
wow, is that what your religion means? Yeah, man, it means love.
mm,
And the way he treated me, so I'm like, wow, I want to learn more. So what caught my eyes was I think it's called the hadith, those stories. And it makes a very romantic way for us who don't know much about Islam
mm.
to get engaged with the religion,
Right,
right?
right.
Because they're beautiful stories, right?
Mm.
And there is a teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all very similar to Buddhism. Take care of your brother, take care of your family, take care of your community, take care of yourself, but put God first.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow. So I joined the Jumeirah Islamic Center,
Wow.
and I went for a year every Monday and Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Wow.
and really study in English, obviously.
Yeah.
The Imam was from New York, so he was very funny.
Okay. Do you remember his name?
Islam,
Islam.
yeah, was his name.
Yeah.
He was from New York. He was an ex-con,
Yeah.
and he has all tattoos, and he
He's
used
a white guy?
no, black guy.
Okay.
And he used to he's like a black and white before he used to be in the other side,
Right.
gangs and this and jail and all that stuff. And then he found Islam in jail.
Right.
He moved to the UAE, and then he became an imam, and he has a beautiful family. He was handling
Wow.
he was handling
Complete change.
yes,
Yeah.
he was handling the whole center.
Mm.
Very famous guy because of his character, and his charisma.
Mm.
And he took me and he explained to me, it was very nice experience, to be honest. And he played a big role because, I knew what he went through because I come from South America.
Mm.
And we grew up with this, gangs and violence and stuff like that. For us, it's like, okay, I see you. Now that you are Imam, now you are able to teach me this beautiful religion.
Mm-hmm.
So he also guided me, uh, especially when the translation from Arab to English,
Yeah.
he was very helpful. And then I embraced Islam and I practiced. I was very, very religious for about 3.5 years, almost 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I met my ex-wife, and then she was Muslim as well. And I was at some point a little bit more Muslim than, because usually when you embrace a religion, um, you tend to be, let's say, more disciplined, and you tend to be more engaged when you just were born with that. Some of people take it for granted, not only with Islam but many things in life.
Yeah, for sure.
And after that, my spiritual awakening came,
Mm-hmm. So
where
you're saying after, like, it came hand in hand with you becoming Muslim, or you felt like it was one of the stages?
it was one of the stages.
Right.
Yeah. However, even though it's a dogma or a religion, um, the true essence, it's love.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Love to God, love to life, love to your surrounding, to your people. So it's not about even the religion. It's about people interpreted the religion.
Mm.
What I didn't really click with it.
Right.
And what I realized that I was more Muslim without being Muslim than most Muslims,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. I already was at service. I already was having a good attitude to life. I already had, help people with charity, but I didn't have to fear God, which is something that is someone until now hasn't explained to me well yet. Why there is so much fear to God
Okay.
in Islam and also in Catholicism, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the
I
part
think-
that doesn't click with me yet.
I think there's my understanding is that there's like two meanings to fear. Fear, the one that we understand in like the West, let's say, is to live in fear, to be unnerved, to be uncomfortable with this feeling, right? Whereas I think that the type of fear that we attribute to God, or we're supposed to attribute to God, is more of an awe. right? It's not fear as in trembling like that. It's an awe as in just an appreciation of the magnificence of something, right? Which makes you feel your scale is is diminished. Your physical scale is diminished at the appreciation of this spiritual reality, right? So it's a kind of an enriching fear, not a diminishing fear.
Okay.
So like that's how I understand it. And also I think that there is a condition in humanity in this 3D realm, which is that we are somehow a slave to something. Whatever we're going to be a slave to something in this life, and that is we're a slave to our mortality. You know, we're mortal beings. There's nothing we can do to escape that reality. We are going to die, right, one day. And what the question is, what do we invest our fear in? What do we say that we are a slave to? We're not a slave to our devices or our job or to money or to anything in this physical reality. We're a slave to something outside of the physical reality. And that way, it's an enriching type of subservience. It's not one that diminishes you. It's the opposite. It fills you.
Okay.
So that's,
Yeah.
my understanding of it.
Yes. That's a very good explanation. Never had ever put it that way for me. It was all from the, if you don't do this, then the punishment will be this.
Right.
So I said, okay, but then it's Catholicism is the same, and then, yeah, some others interest grew up within me from the Pranic Healing perspective. So I lean more towards that.
Right.
But I felt very peaceful
Mm-hmm.
when I was very, when I was used to practice a lot,
Mm-hmm.
very peaceful. Obviously, coming from a meditation background from the Buddhism, if you do it 5 times per day, there's no way you won't be able to be peaceful, you know? Or also, I had a breach because I mix, again, from ignorance, I mix the religion with the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I mix religion with uh, UAE Muslims and Saudi Muslims
Right.
and Jordanian Muslims and Egyptian Muslims. Everybody is kind of different,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still human.
Mm-hmm.
You got me? And it's just too much information for me to understand something that has been millenniums, for me to get it in few years. So it was quite overwhelming, and I lost the meaning of why I was doing it, to be honest.
Right.
And because I was, I'm very curious, but I kind of nerdy. So I put a lot of attention when I'm learning something. One of the things that got into my mind is that God will punish very much to those who are very hypocrite,
Right.
being Muslim.
Yeah.
So I was,
Worried about being hip.
yes.
Right.
So I stopped, and I'm like, no, I can't.
Yeah. I think again, like, the only thing to really focus your like energy and your intention into is, because you've got the concept of Islam and Iman, right? Islam is the kind of foundational religion, the outward aspects of religion, like
Yeah.
the prayers and um, and Iman is the internal dimension, which is the spiritual dimension.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and so the Sufis were more focused on the Iman, and how to enrich the spiritual connection between oneself and God.
Yeah.
So I think that we as human beings, and Muslims, are constantly in a state of um, slipping in and out of the deen, right?
That's
like,
the duality.
yeah, like stopping praying or stopping the strictness or whatever, and then you come to a point where you're like, really, I need to connect again, and so you come closer to it. But the the kind of quest really is to try and maintain the spiritual dimension,
Yeah.
which means that basically, what does that mean? It means, how are you enriching your spiritual path, like and so you're exploring your pranic healing for what? So that you can cleanse, right? So that you can make yourself lighter,
Yes.
right? So at the end of the day, what is it that is the purpose of this religion? Is to make us closer to God. That means to be with less baggage from this human experience, less baggage, putting less importance to the physical experience, not take it with you, but actually have uh, a lighter backpack,
Yeah.
so that you're ready to leave,
Yeah.
and you're ready to jump on the train,
Yes.
and you're not like, oh, but what about this and what about that?
Yeah.
You're let's go.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, alhamdulillah. So what I like about your story, brother, is that you bring with you like a really strong presence, and a really strong power with that presence, that it's like a baby, like there's a very youthful like energy about it.
I laugh a lot. I joke a lot.
Yeah,
It's
for sure. And very, you have a very peaceful presence. Um, what do you think? Uh, What do you think are forget about like religion, let's say. What do you think are the kind of key things that people need to watch out for in their journey, in order to stay spiritually healthy?
That's a very good question.
Mm,
And that question I ask myself every day on my meditations.
mm,
Um, it's it's to look inwards, truly. I know everybody would say the same, but despite any religion or practice that you do,
mm,
it's very similar to the example that you just gave about the bag. It's maybe no, because I went through it. Maybe no, the goal is not to learn so much, but to practice more.
mhm,
So you might only practice three principles
mm,
from a religion point of view, from an energetic point of view, but those three things, for example, is what you really live by.
mhm,
To give you an example, we are one. So act like one. When you see people in the street, in the elevator, in the gas station, behind a counter, just smile
mhm,
because you would like someone else to smile to you, right?
mhm,
Be kind,
mhm,
truly,
mhm,
right? Um, if you want miracles to appear to your life, then think and live like you are a miracle too,
mhm,
right? So from what you consume,
mhm,
food, music, people,
mhm,
energy, and if you are not certain, then stay within.
mhm,
You know, it's very important. Cultivate silence. For me, very hard. I speak more than a parrot. That's one of my biggest challenge in this life is to remain at peace.
mhm,
In silence, and smile a lot,
mhm,
laugh a lot,
mhm,
see the apparently negative things
mhm.
as a teaching, and in fact, it's quite funny.
Mhm,
You know, I've been in jail. I was laughing inside. I lost everything materialistic after the pandemic. I was laughing from pain.
mhm,
You understand? Because God gave me every day an opportunity to wake up the next day. So I used to look up to the sky and say, really? You want to keep me around? Because I'm going to go after anything it comes to my mind, you know?
mhm,
And I used to laugh and then go for it and then go for it. You know what I mean?
mhm,
This is truly a game. This is truly an opportunity
mhm,
to remove all the shades,
mhm,
all the layers, you know? And the more vulnerable and naked, as romantic as it sounds, that you become to yourself,
mhm,
the much better energy you can bring to the world. And it's going to come back to you anyway
mhm,
because we are one. So I would say um, practice um, practice the principle of we are one,
mhm,
as in treat everyone the same way you would like to be treated.
mhm,
Be kind to yourself. Be kind to you,
Mm.
whether you struggle, whether you make mistakes, or whether you have a good day. Be kind. And eat consciously. That's
Mm.
very important as well. From a piece of chocolate to a broccoli to a steak to an ice cream. Enjoy. Yeah. And ultimately, um, help others.
Mm.
Some people would call it charity.
Mm.
Some people would call it sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would call it community. Whatever concept is in your mind, just share.
Mm.
Because as you said, this life is very short and it's a very dense transition to the biggest gift.
Mm.
The biggest gift when you are alive is death. People don't see it that way. This is obviously from a Buddhist principle, but
From a
the Buddhist
Buddhist.
principle
Mm.
is a gift.
Mm.
To die is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is. But it's a
But that's not to say that we should encourage death, right?
no, death will come. As long as you're breathing,
Yeah.
be rest assured,
Yeah.
the death will come.
Yeah.
So that's the last thing you should worry about,
Yeah.
you know? But
What if you're not ready?
life, that I was about to answer you that question. If
Yeah.
I sense I should tell you this. So life is the biggest opportunity that we have
Mm.
to be ready for that time.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. Because to die at peace is to be able to walk in this earth with those loving principles
Mm.
until you're gone.
Mm.
Because there will be no regret if there is,
Mm. Mm.
you know? And then you actually came to give more than you take.
Mm.
You know, the West or the whole world is now, the trend is to take.
Mm.
That's, you understand?
Yeah.
There is no more beautiful thing than to give.
Mm.
So that's few principles that I live by every single day.
Mm.
You got me. Some people, sometimes I act like I'm crazy from the society point of
I
view.
think
You know?
that a lot of people get caught up in their own narrative of, let's say, it's healthy to have aspirations and dreams about what it is that we want to do and
Yeah.
try and manifest those dreams. But then the disappointment of not being able to manifest those dreams puts you in a
There we
negative,
go.
spiral,
There we
right?
go.
And then you get caught up in the ego and the mental story, the psychological trauma
Yeah.
of that disappointment.
Yes.
And that's the same thing with relationships. If you think someone is great, and then something happens that challenges that
Yeah.
narrative, then you suddenly like, oh, you throw all of the toys out of the pram, you know, and khalas, cancel that person, you know, completely cancel. But like ultimately, like if we do that, then we'll end up just canceling everybody and everything and become like a hermit. I can't live in this life.
Yeah.
I can't integrate, let's say.
That is
in this
true.
life.
That is true.
So somehow it's like a balance. We have to try to be in a relationship with our life and community and our work with a set of principles that
Yeah.
allows us to always look at the with optimism, you know, at the positive that comes from it, however small. So as an example, you know, my mum always used to say, what was it? Uh, hope, hope, for the no, expect the worst, hope for the best, right?
That's a very
So
powerful mantra.
expect the worst, hope for the best, which means don't be negative, right? Because you're hoping for good to come from anything, right? But don't expect that it's coming your way. Like then you're truly grateful or appreciative of something that's good that comes from a friend. So like if I was expecting a friend to say to invite me to something or whatever, you know, or to call me back or something like that, and then they don't, instead of falling into that negative spiral of thinking, oh, this person is time waster, and you know, it's like, how does this person know that you're sitting wasting your time thinking about it? Like they're busy with other things.
Yeah.
Like they're not necessarily thinking about what you're going through because that's your story.
Yes.
But doesn't mean that they don't love you and that they're not thinking of you, or that your time will come, you know, for them to do something positive in your life,
There we go.
to have a positive impact on your life. So if you're like constantly just able to stay in a positive state of mind, then by the time that you do finally come to that person's consciousness, this is something that I can reach out to them with, or they think of you, then that door is open, because you've left the door open in the quantum field, you know. Yeah, that was a bit of a waffle
Right.
about that.
No, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Mm.
Another beautiful practice is again is service. Service of all kind. There is no way that any human on earth does service and it doesn't become happy. It just it's just magic.
There's lots of rewards.
It's just magic internally first, let alone the impact of what you're doing. That's why, for example, and it comes from Islam, it reinforced this thought. A smile could change someone's day.
Mm.
That's service, opening the door for someone, stopping and letting someone else go in traffic or walking, complimenting someone. You know what I mean? Whether you're having a bad day or not, because you never know what the other person is going through. And trust me, most of the time when we see people smiling or with a positive attitude, most of the time they're going through hell. Some of them understood that maybe the facade helped them to cope up with that, but some of them genuinely understand what life is about, and they don't see it as a problem, but as a challenge to become better humans. You know, that's one of that I tend to practice. I'm blessed because I'm at service. I love service. I work service. I breathe service. It's just that I could not pay rent only by doing service. Otherwise, I will not charge of what I do in the way I do it. You know what I mean? But yes, it in my plans is in the near future is to create a space as a farm where I could have the healing side of it, the exercise side of it, the nutritional part, the teachings. It's like a whole thing that I already have planned in my mind. There is a business plan, there is a diagram, there is everything I've been building over the years to be able to gather the money or the money to come to me to be able to build this space, whether it's in the UAE or anywhere in the world. That's one of my goals. As you say, it's good to have inspiration, yeah. But again, it's in order to give, yeah. Because I think I took this responsibility consciously few years back. Despite of what life throw at me, I will be always at service, and it's not easy. Sometimes, as a human, I have good days, bad days, but I never forget my why. Just because it's what keep me alive. It's what keep the fire in me. And and it's overwhelming sometimes. I need to sometimes tone it down, because when I really connect to it, it's just pouring down my eyes. It's a bliss. Is I shave, I sweat, I cry. It's something bigger than me, than my body cannot contain. And so when I have a bad day, let's say a bad day, which in Dubai I can conceive, and this is something that I've been thinking the last, I don't know, 5 years. I cannot conceive, and maybe I'm being ignorant about it, but I cannot conceive that someone living in Dubai could have a bad day. Can you really have a bad day in Dubai with everything that is to our advantage from all aspects, by the way, from the spiritual side and from the materialistic side, And
You're saying that Dubai, relative to many places, has a very full cup,
yes,
spiritually and
yes,
materialistically.
there is access to anything in Dubai from any religion. I personally have been in many churches in Dubai, invited by friends. I've been to Catholic churches, Christian churches, this church. How many churches are here? You understand? I've been in Krishna's temple, for example, in Dera, I think it is. All the mosques in the whole city. There is freedom to practice any religion. So that is covered, even from the government. You can come here and practice anything you want. And then from the materialistic point of view, I don't think there is something missing in Dubai that you cannot cope up with something.
Yeah.
I know maybe if someone dies, if someone is sick.
But Dubai is it's a very transient place. I've been here for 18 years, right? And over this time, I've seen so many people come and go, and some people that are just continually coming and going, going like this, right? Seasonally or every couple of years, you see them come back for a short time. There's obviously something very transient about Dubai, and it doesn't, at least it's historically felt that way, that a lot of people that come here, they're like young families or singles, right? So there's not extended family here. There's no grandparents here. They're all back home somewhere, all of the expats. I'm speaking primarily about the expat community. That's 80% of the population, as we are, right? So I always felt like, because like I've had very, very good friends, and suddenly they just pack up and leave, right? And you just have to kind of accept that that's part of the condition here. And like the question, why is it like that? And the answer, because people have their other lives in other countries that they have to keep going back to.
Yeah.
B, because without that kind of extended family relationship, without having all generations here, grandchildren, parents, grandparents, in this physical space, it feels not grounded.
But that's
Right.
another programming, brother.
Yeah, but
I've been without my parents 25 years, and I've gone through depression in many phases of it. Once I understood what life is all about, service and love in my case, I developed the best relationship with my parents than ever, with my father and my mother, because I worked so much on me that I was able to then bring this to them. But it's only in solitude.
They must miss you a lot.
They do.
Yeah.
But I try to explain to them that what they miss is the flesh. It's not the conscious, it's not the love. I see them every day in my meditations. I see them every day in my astral journey. I see them every day in my ceremonies, for example. I see them when I'm cooking. Even my my family, the family members that have died, I see them when I'm cooking. You got me. I truly see them. So
Explain this.
What do you mean?
Go into that a little bit. Like when you say you see them, you mean you feel them?
I feel them. I see them in my dreams. I see them in my downloads when I'm making recipes. I got information. This.
Okay. And you mentioned earlier as well that you have conversations.
Yes.
So you're having conversations with them on a higher astral plane.
Yes.
Right. And these conversations, they're interactions.
They're interactions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you sense that those like if you speak to them on the phone afterwards, that is something that has resonated with them? You came to their mind, or
at this point, before I started practicing astral journey and astral meditations, at this point, as soon as we text, they tell me, "I dream about you last night." I say, "Yeah, I was next to you," for example.
Right.
But I'm really, let's say, try to be connected a lot of the time. But they're still in Venezuela, which is a completely different reality. So for me to enter in that dense reality is not as easy. It's only when they have a good day. It's only when something and they...
What do you mean dense reality?
Venezuela is a very dense reality.
Spiritually.
There is a lot of... layers of
unresolved.
No, negative, dark.
Yes.
There is a lot of witchcraft. There is a lot of corruption, hunger, drugs, death, politics. The whole country is upside down. So the energy, it's very dense. It's not easy to come in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Whether if you go to Bhutan, for example, whether if you go and visit someone in Nepal, for example, in the Himalayas, in some part of India, it's so easy to tap in and out because there's so many people doing so good to others that the energy is actually sweet. And some dreams, when I wake up, I just like, oh man, it's sweet, because of the energy, because of the love. You got me.
Mhm.
So sometimes it's not easy to visit there, let's say.
Mm.
But what I try to explain to them, because it's a program, right? We all program. But I have, tried all my life to get rid of all of this programming. That's why I'm able to do a multi-dimensional healing, because I see through. I don't see, I'm limitless. There is no limit,
Mm.
right? Um, so I'm able to translate that into my food, into my being, into my words,
Mhm.
into my silence. Sometimes I just call them to just hear what they have to say.
Mm.
And they tell me what to do. I say, how can I tell you what to do? I just hear your voice.
So sometimes when you talk about them and your interactions with them, it sounds like you're talking about physically calling them, but you're talking about spiritually calling them.
Yes,
Like, because your spiritual interactions with them are as virtual as a physical
both,
interaction.
both,
Yeah.
both. Because again, but that comes with a responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
The responsibility of me quitting alcohol many years ago, of quitting clubbing, for example, smoking. I didn't really smoke in my life
Mm-hmm.
much. Um, Tapping into gossips, tapping into listen some type of music. It comes with a responsibility where you have to clear yourself of many things to be able to receive this gift. You cannot be drinking, smoking, and clubbing and
Mm-hmm.
talking bad about others and try to just have a salted water and go into a meditation and you expect to pass a different dimension. It's just not going to happen that way.
So your astral projections, is that something that you went into like training yourself to do?
Yes, I started doing it when, unfortunately, my ex-wife have her first miscarriage. I have an intense dream the day that that happened, and I saw it, and I saw it leaving, and I thought like it was one of my worst nightmare at that time,
Mm.
but it was a blessing that was telling me it's not my time
Mm. So that happened by accident.
by accident, but I was in a state of mind
Mm.
of practicing that,
Right.
because that's when I started my awakening, if that makes sense.
So this was your like kind of first experience
My
with.
first experience.
Okay.
And I used to cook, yeah, overnight at that time as well. And I used to hear voices. I was going crazy because I remember the first stage of that, of the down,
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how they call it. Yeah, yes, like the awakening kind of thing. It's very tough. Like you have so many programs and so many blockage, and it comes through. It's very tough because you become crazy, literally. Because nothing is real. So you're like, anyway, at that time, I understood that if I, as a, if I take care of this flesh properly
Mm.
and I find the right practice, I can tap into any dimension or reality.
Mm.
That from me being a normal human being to any guru, any spiritual guide will tell you the same,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that's what they do. Go and ask a monk what is the last time they had a beer, for example. Go and ask an imam, for example, what was the last time they went out for to spare time, like to waste time outside.
Mm.
They're not. They don't waste a step. They don't waste a thought. They don't waste a word. So their energy is always, concentrated and so powerful. So the moment you take this energy into a high technique, multidimensional technique, it'll just go through. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But it takes time. It takes time. So yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Again, at first it wasn't that easy. Now I'm used to it. Now I go to places, I feel them. Now I dream and I got downloads.
And is this these techniques that you have for astral projection
Yes.
meditation?
Yes,
It's not like where in your dreams is your dreams, or are you having
because I set an intention.
right.
So, and there is also protocols, right? So I take a salted bath.
Mm.
I cleanse my flesh with salt
Mm-hmm.
very much. Okay. I set the space with some sage, incense. I play some frequency, or I play some bowls, to create the vibration.
Mm-hmm.
I set the space properly. I put fragrance, I use crystals, I put flowers sometimes. Okay. And then I set an intention. Where do I want to go or who I want to visit?
Mm.
And then Obviously, I turn on my phone. I stop about interacting with, the physical world, and start doing breath work first, and then a meditation. And once I'm in my zone, then I go through it, mostly through breath work, by the way, until shoo, I leave the body. Okay. I would say, um, on a 50 to 60%, being really honest, I'm successful. Not all the time, especially because of my lifestyle. I'm not able to really tap into beta frequency, which is the one that helps you to live. We have different frequencies, especially when we're sleeping. So that is the one that you are able to go. Sometimes I don't reach that, but I'm very peaceful. So at that, I get downloads, or I just have a very good rest.
So it's really getting yourself into
The right frequency.
into a frequency where you're kind of at the door, the gate between consciousness and subconscious,
Yes,
right?
you could say.
So you can just kind of very calmly slip between the two.
Yes.
Like, so your intention is setting to maintain your conscious mind, but in the subconscious field.
Yes,
Right?
correct.
So I've experienced that, but let's say not something I can control. It's something that happens maybe after, let's say, climbing and resting after a climb, or having the right balance in my sleep and my food, and sitting down at the right moment, maybe have some happy or something like that, so that I'm really, really calm and relaxed, and then I can just sit there for 45 minutes, and time is not on my mind because I'm sort of outside of time,
Yes.
space time, but it's not something that I've mastered. I know how to, like, okay, I'm going to spend some time and do this. I
Yeah.
can't.
Well, I try to be disciplined. I
Mm,
try to follow protocol.
mm,
I love doing these things, but it's not something that I control. And when you put in your mind you must control, you will never control it.
mm,
I just let it flow. But there are techniques, and I started from visualizing first, while consciously I knew I wasn't even asleep. You got me. I was imagining it.
mhm,
But guess what? Imagination has a super powerful frequency
mm,
that it actually can take you there. That's how, as an architect, you can imagine and can make it happen.
mm,
How do you explain that?
mm. How do I explain what?
How do you explain that you imagine a structure,
Mm.
and a year after the structure is built?
I mean, that's explained because we're given tools. We're given tools to make it happen.
Yeah.
And the tools are, we have, first of all, our hands. Our hands can describe through drawing. So that's the first skill that we learn to draw. And then from drawing, we can start to do more like technical investigation through softwares and computer generated imagery and blah, blah, blah. So we actually start to really um, know how to manifest our visions, because they come from an inner vision, right? And the inner vision then is through a process of through a process and through using these tools, we're able to visualize it. And then once that visualization is technical enough that it becomes buildable, then that goes to the post contract stage, and you find the builders to come and to build it into a reality.
Correct.
There's many other kind of inputs like cost control and
Yeah, safety.
all of the different things that go into making it a reality. But
In this case, the
yeah.
tools are the breath works,
Mm-hmm.
the meditation,
Mm,
and the skill of discipline.
mm-hmm.
Doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it, doing it. Along the way, all of these very basic principles that I told you before: service, love, being one, charity, laughing, smiling. So, what happened is you are always at this frequency. So, it will be easy for you to tap into that.
Okay.
You know?
So let's say you're in your meditation, and you said that the energy in Venezuela is very thick,
Yeah,
you know,
dense, yes.
very dense.
in some part, especially in the capital,
Right.
because we have the Angel Fall, remember? One of the highest, if not the highest, single waterfall in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That
Angel Falls.
Angel Falls, yes.
Mhm.
That's one of the most majestics and one of the chakras of the world.
Right.
So to tap into that, choo,
Angel Falls.
very easy. Especially sites with water, very easy to tap into it. Very easy to tap into
Oh,
it.
wow. That's really high.
Yeah. You know, Iceland, for example.
Mm.
Yeah, some part of in the US, the
Mm.
Amazon. When there's a lot of nature and you want to tap into it, it's very simple, very easy,
Yeah.
because nature is there.
Mm. Right.
But if it comes to where my parents are, for example, in Caracas, in the capital, that's the center of the whole thing.
Right.
You know, Dubai, it's dense in some parts. You have to go away from Dubai
Mm-hmm.
to be able to really connect. For example, when you know, when you do a retreat and
Okay. So let's say you're in your astral body
yes,
and you have the freedom to travel to wherever you set your intention to,
yeah,
right? Immediately,
yes,
right? Um, when when you're in that space, are you conscious of other beings
yes, and
and
yes,
and uh, how do you know do some of those beings interact with you, like, or try to uh, interfere with
yeah,
your intention?
yes, they scare you as well.
Mm.
Again, because I'm coming from a light point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment you enter in the reality, you caught their attention. Like, who is this?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you here? You know? So you have to be really careful on that sense. That's why the space needs to be set up properly.
Right.
That's why your life needs to be in a proper way,
Yeah.
because they can tap into you at any point in time if you are not protected. For example, I cover my belly button,
Mm.
so they cannot enter into my center. You got me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got salt, raw salt next to my bed, so they cannot enter. So again, there are many tools how you have to do this to protect yourself, you know?
Mm. I mean, a lot of people who, especially aren't connected to these kind of practices, think that this is all just spiritual mumbo jumbo.
Yeah,
Like the salt and all of these
yeah.
things. But
No, they work.
yeah, they
The
work.
same in the ceremonies when we do medicine, for example, and we tap into the same reality. And the shamans or the facilitator explain to us, if you see this, don't give energy. If, for example, in Jopo, if you see someone who comes to give you gift, don't take the gift. They just distract you from your journey. Yeah. In the Aya, for example, when they tell you, don't look at the monster, if you're brave enough, if you really want to not to be afraid of, go straight to it. Yeah. Or some, if you run away, it'll follow. So the different medicine, for example, show you different things. In this case, it's a bit similar, not as intense, but yeah, I've seen them. They scare me. They taught me. They kick me.
Mm-hmm.
But because I built within
Mm-hmm.
this being of love,
Mm-hmm.
they can only poke me,
Mm.
but they don't disrupt me. And I laugh and I give them more love,
Mm-hmm.
because in my meditation I also pray and send love. There is a very beautiful meditation that I do. It's called Twin Heart Meditation. And at the beginning, the master says, or you said, and I send love to the beings or the outer world, inner world, even the inner world, in the dark world, to all of them, peace and love.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine doing that every single day. They know a being on earth is sending them love. So when you tap into the reality, they can even smell you. They can sense you. It's this guy. You got me.
Yeah, so they get
It comes from
connected to the higher their higher self.
yes,
Kind of, yeah.
exactly. And some of this travel journey, it's mostly for me to get information. It's not from I miss my parents.
Okay.
That's fear.
Right.
So I'm entering with a fear emotion.
Yeah.
I already lost the game.
Right.
Let's put it that way. No, I'm gonna visit my grandma. I'm gonna visit this person. I'm gonna visit. I'm gonna see them. I'm excited. I just want to let them know that I'm close.
Yeah.
You got me.
That you're in a
My
good
love is
space.
here. There we go.
Yeah.
So it's a completely different approach.
Right. Right.
If that's the right
You're
thing to
not
do,
reading anything.
I do not.
Yeah.
I actually come to visit.
Yeah.
I come like the kings
Yeah.
with gift.
Right. That's beautiful.
So that's why.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wake up smiling. Sometimes I wake up crying. Sometimes I wake up sweating. You know, and I need to be on empty stomach. Like there is a lot of things to do. Obviously,
Mm.
let's be honest. I don't do this very often
Mm.
because it demands a lot of energy prior to. It's like preparing yourself to a ceremony
Mm.
or preparing yourself to a retreat or to preparing yourself to go to Vipassana or something. It requires a lot of energy. Where in my day to day, I don't have yet the luxury to do that as often, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, and I cannot um, stop on stressing this point, is how you carry yourself a certain frequency that you are in a level where these things tap into you easily without the whole astral journey, if that makes sense. That's why when I'm cooking and when I'm giving all of this love, I get this download, you know? Oh, my mother is thinking of me. Yes, mama, what's up? How do you know? Because I'm in this reality.
Yeah.
And you can manifest very easy from this point. When I'm driving, for example, and I'm going here, I was coming here, I say, little angels of the traffic, thank you for, as soon as I arrive, I have a spot on my right in Neil House. When I came, the spot was there. You understand? Once you harvest this tools, so power, I don't like to call it power, but then you can manifest as you go on anything, not from wanting, not from deciding,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from knowing that we live in abundance.
Mm.
So if there is abundance, then you are part of that abundance.
Mm.
And if there is no spot there, for example, where I wanted, it's not because I needed it. Then someone else needed it. So it's not my time to get the gift.
Mm.
Then I go and find my spot somewhere else. I don't get stuck into those things so much. The issue is, as human, because I'll be honest with you, when it comes to other humans, for example, when I like someone and oh my God, I manifest this person, but oh man, she has 6 fingers. I didn't ask with 6 fingers, for example, you know what I mean? So it's like, is everything perfect? But there's one thing that you didn't ask for. So are you gonna let this 6 finger stop you from having the love of your life, or the person who's actually gonna help you to build something? Or you got my point. So it's very subtle. But again, it's all a game. And they tell me, enjoy. They always tell me, enjoy. This is a game. Be real. Be genuine. Let the adult run the 3D, but let the kid run the soul. That's one of the best downloads.
Let the adult.
Let the adult, in my case now, run the 3D, right? Being responsible, providing,
Paying your bills.
paying my bills, being good in my community, in the world. That's the adult, right? Being respectful, reading, studying, improving myself.
Yeah.
But let the kid run the soul. So it's one of the most beautiful. I get goosebumps because that's one of the most beautiful downloads I have ever gotten. So that's why I'm always smiling. I'm always, joking when I know when to joke. When I have time also that I'm very introvert, like in my space, and I cave for like weeks. I need that time to be able to bring the best of me, yeah? But I interact with people every day because of the nature of what I do. Yeah? So that's it. I took it as a responsibility, brother, and it's a beautiful journey. So if we take that responsibility,
I think like, let's say people who take their spiritual journey, their spiritual responsibilities seriously, um, it makes, I think it's sometimes it can be difficult for relationships, like, because like, you're on your own spiritual journey and your partner is on their spiritual journey, and sometimes they're not aligned, but the love sometimes is for different reasons.
yeah.
So how do you think or you just trust? Do you just trust that?
In my case, in my experience, I took a sabbatical for a couple of years first, because there is a lovely principle that I love to follow, and it says that in life I rather pay or choose the price rather than the universe. So I knew where I was going, and if you get, like you say, too spiritual, too this and that, it's hard to find real connection, which I honestly disagree in my case. So what I did, I took the sabbatical. I say, I'm gonna pay first. I'm gonna be alone on this physical realm, which is very hard for me as Latin, Venezuelan, human, whatever, man, guy, you name it. And I'm gonna go through it by choice. And at the end of it, I will be a different man. But then I will appreciate any single connection moving forward, because I left behind the need, the flesh,
Yeah.
which I used to be so much into it in the past.
Yeah.
So right now, it's a magnet, brother. I cannot tell you. It's a magnet. It's a magnet. I just, because I'm conscious, I don't let anyone, I don't let anyone to believe or something that is not, and I'm very clear and very honest. But the moment I felt that is a real connection, I will jump into it. You understand? Because there are different also type of love or layers of love. Maybe the love that you're saying is the romantic love and stuff like that. But the love that I believe is a love of choice. You choose to love this person every day, even if she didn't reply to you the way you wanted, or even if you're having a bad day, or even if she didn't cook for you your favorite eggs, or even if,
No, I think it's also because if you're in a relationship where you feel like you're in your center,
yeah,
then it's not like a struggle to maintain.
because you don't really need them. You are sharing what you already have with them.
Yes.
And they share it with you, and you become more of a friend kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a
It's
symbiotic
relationship.
Yeah.
And that's a gift. That's beauty. So, but most women, when I interact with them in a different setup, it's a very powerful tool. I would say that very powerful. That if I weren't conscious, this is when some gurus and some practitioners fall into that.
Right.
They haven't
use
worked
it.
their ego yet,
Yeah.
and they know this work, and they are at that level, but they use it to their advantage. And we might have some friends in commons who do that, as a yogi and this and that and this and that, and they earn a very bad fame.
You have like, let's say, we all have the ability to take a step in the wrong path, right?
Yeah.
At any point,
Yeah.
however advanced we are, like,
Yes.
but the important thing is to recognize that you have your spiritual cues. Let's say you were talking about your ancestors or your family. They rein you in and they say, don't go too far down this road.
And the more aware, the faster it comes to you. The faster it comes to you. The karma, it's just right here. When you are this awake, karma is right here. So you are very aware of an action.
Right.
Because you asked for it, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's why. Now, there is a different level, I'm not there yet, where you become deeper. I love to say deeper than higher, because we're not higher or lower than anything. It just go deeper. Where you choose suffering, and you choose to take a wrong turn, to take the lesson from it. But this is the next level. It's like only real masters do that through suffering. You know what I mean? For example, I met a Brazilian shaman who has been through maybe 60 different type of viruses in his life, and he has cured himself from all of it. So he's everywhere he goes, he looks for a new virus to defeat.
Wow.
It's his choice. But he's a shaman from Brazil. He grew up in the indigenous tribe, in the forest, and he's very knowledgeable. And he's a chosen one, like he's a gift to humanity. but he's able to choose that. He's able to choose when to get sick, when not to get sick, when to do something wrong or not, to get the lessons. And he just, okay, he passed, like a video game. Chook. And he
Nice.
plug in and plug it,
Yeah.
So when you said that we know the bad and good, it's relevant, bro. If you really awaken, you should just leave, man. You should just leave, because without mistake, you will never learn.
Yeah.
How boring is a life where whatever you want is given to you? How boring is life with whatever you desire is comes to you, where you are the perfect person, where you never lie, where you never feel, where everything is happening? How boring would that be?
How realistic is it?
And how little you will learn,
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah.
I wonder if you have, like, obviously there's many practices and things that you do with regards to pranic healing,
Yeah.
or something like that. Maybe we can do a small demonstration or something,
Yeah.
just to give people an idea.
So, okay, a very easy one is one I did before, is that you can close your eyes. Okay, you can take maybe 3 quick breaths. Focus on your heart. And then on the third one, once you are there, you place your hands in your heart chakra and slowly start to rub your palms until you feel the warmth in it. And then slowly separate them. You can sense the energy. And if you want this energy to become stronger, you can say the word love, or God, or beautiful. And you can see how it's intensified the energy, and you can even expand that. All right? And the moment you say war, hate, it just disappear. So that's a very good practice. After you flick your hands and you go again. So what I meant was that if you focus on positive, the energy becomes stronger and it can expand. But if you focus on the negative, it just disappears. That's step number 1. Okay? Step number 2. Let's say, once you are here and you feel this energy, you can say this: healing energy, healing energy, healing energy.
Healing energy, healing energy,
Yes.
healing energy.
Once you have this energy, what you can do is you harness some of it and passes through your aura, and then you cleanse. And you take it in the right hands and you dismiss. And you take the other hands and you dismiss. And again, one very important key is if you cleanse your eyes, immediately cleanse your third eye and your thoughts and the stress. It releases so quickly, quicker than any other. Yes. Healing energy, healing energy, healing energy.
Healing energy.
Removing the negative energy from it. In peace, in love. Always in peace.
Peace or love.
Yes. And you can do this as long as you want until you feel lighter. Okay? Yes. That's a very simple and basic energy technique. Multidimensional cleaning. Yes, flip it. Yes. And if to enhance the cleaning, you could have a bowl with salt and drop everything there. The water attract, right? And the salt disintegrated. So it's a perfect tool. Attract and disintegrate. Attract and
So you
disintegrate.
just wash your hands in the salt,
No wash it. Just throw the energy there.
throw it
Flick
into
it on the bowl.
and it just absorbs it.
Yes, exactly. Like this.
Does it absorb it and contain it in the vessel?
Yes.
And then so you need to discard it.
Yes.
How can you use that water? Can you just throw it to the plants, or?
Yeah, so you throw it on the plants,
Mm-hmm.
but if you throw it on plants or another living creature, said, may this energy transform
Mm-hmm.
back again on Earth on a love
Vibration.
transform in a love vibration. Because remember, Earth is the biggest being, is the biggest transformative being on the universe.
Mm-hmm.
It has the capacity to transform
Mm-hmm.
negativity into positivity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very, very, like, that's why we're blessed. We are part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, in the universe, there is a recycle area where most healer aware of it send the negative energy there. So it's like an oven.
Right.
You send it there and it burns
Mm.
and it comes back and recycle energy.
Wow.
It all sounds like a game, a fairy tale, but it's true. And the fact that if people believe it or not, it doesn't really matter. It just exists.
Wow.
So that's why I'm able to apply all of that on the food.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, for example, applied on static. So he removed wrinkles. He removed scarf. So he's able to change matter already. He's on a different level.
This
That,
is ascended.
and yeah,
Mm.
he tapped into matter. Imagine.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is your brother?
My brother is 50 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. And
you're how old are you?
I'm 44.
44.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Looking good, brother.
thank you. Yeah. It's part of the process, you know? Yeah, maybe I'm blessed with genes, but yeah.
Cool, man. I really I would like to have more of these interactions. Like maybe we can do other kind of practice and go into more detail about some aspects, maybe medicine journeys, maybe with the pranic healing,
Yeah.
and other topics.
Sure.
It's been really fun.
Yeah, likewise.
And I've really enjoyed our conversation. This
Me too.
as for my first podcast.
Thank you for inviting me and having in your space.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And God bless.
God bless, brother.
Is there anything else that you want to share about?
Just gratitude.
Yeah.
Gratitude.
Is there, where can people find out more about what you're doing?
Yes, so they can tap into the holisticchef.ae. That's my website.
Holisticchef.ae.
The holisticchef.ae.
The holistic. Okay.
Yeah. They can WhatsApp me from the website. They can follow Holistic Kitchen. That's my meal plan. And they can follow Chef Victor Urbina
On Instagram.
on Instagram. Actually, the Holistic Chef Instagram, they can follow me. I answer very quickly there.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Holistic Chef .ae on Instagram, the Holistic Chef .ae website, and Holistic Kitchen.
Okay. And your meal plans you offer, like is it every day? Like a whole,
Yeah.
they don't need to worry about.
So I deliver food every day.
Mhm.
Some people take 5 days, some people take 6 days, some people take 7 days. I deliver every morning, freshly cooked, as I cook overnight.
Does it matter? Does it have to be every day freshly made, or can you receive like say 2 or 3 days food on
Yeah.
one day?
It could be,
Yeah.
depends on the client. Again, it's a bespoke meal plan, so I adapt 100% to the need of my client. However, since I work with 50% of my food is organic, it needs to be cooked and eaten as fast as you can or as quickly as possible to preserve the nutrients on it.
Right.
You got me?
Mhm.
So that's why I do it daily. But yeah, I have done for other clients pre-packed food where I send 2 days in advance, 3 days in advance.
Mhm.
Especially pilots. I used to cook for pilots, and imagine pilots, they don't eat the food for their own airlines.
Of course not.
and they used to take my food. Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, anything is possible, brother.
Yeah, that's great.
So thank you for having me.
Thank you. And just one more last request.
Tell me.
Maybe after the podcast is finished,
Yeah.
I feel like a little bit of block here.
Yeah. Let's do a healing.
Yes, please.
Done.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
God bless.
God bless you.
All right. How shall
How shall I wish?
Please like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this podcast. I will be inviting many interesting guests moving forward to discuss subjects that interest me in particular, such as art, architecture, spirituality, music, and healing. See you soon.